Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix delivered plenty of action this weekend, but one of the standout moments came early in the race with the crash involving Yuki Tsunoda. The Japanese driver, recently promoted to the main Red Bull team, saw his race come to an abrupt end before completing the first lap. A disappointing turn that has sparked discussions about his readiness for the top team and the challenges presented by the Jeddah Street circuit. Just moments after the lights went out, in the approach to Turn 5, Tsunoda found himself wheel-to-wheel with Alpine driver Pierre Gasly. Both were fighting for position, but in the high-speed, narrow section of the track, contact was almost inevitable. The collision sent both cars toward the barriers, triggering an immediate safety car deployment. While Gasly retired on the spot, Tsunoda managed to nurse his damaged car back to the pits, only for the team to assess structural damage that forced his retirement from the race before the end of the opening lap. After the incident, both drivers described the collision as a racing incident. Tsunoda explained that he believed there was enough space and tried to navigate the corner cleanly, but was caught off guard by Gasly's move on the outside. Gasly, in turn, stated that he had committed to the corner and there was enough room for both drivers to make it through. FIA stewards reviewed the footage and concluded that no further action was necessary, labeling the clash a racing incident with no penalties handed out. Despite the shared responsibility, the crash represents a tough beginning to Tsunoda's debut as a Red Bull driver. The expectations were high following the team's decision to replace Liam Lawson after just 2 races. Red Bull, under pressure to deliver results while also dealing with internal tensions and performance inconsistencies, had hoped Tsunoda could bring fresh momentum. However, the first lap mistake raised concerns about whether the promotion came too soon. It's important to note that the Jeddah circuit is notoriously unforgiving. With high-speed corners and minimal room for error, it's one of the most technically demanding tracks on the calendar. Yet, even with that context, Tsunoda's crash was ill-timed, especially considering how critical each race weekend is for proving his worth. The Japanese driver had expressed optimism leading into the race, claiming that he was adapting well to the RB21 and even believed a top 10 finish was within reach. But that opportunity evaporated within seconds. Beyond the immediate disappointment, the incident comes amid a broader atmosphere of uncertainty within Red Bull. The team is reportedly dealing with internal disputes and mounting concerns about car development. Max Verstappen has been vocal about issues with the RB21, and rumors continue to circulate about his long-term commitment to the team. In such a high-pressure environment, even small mistakes take on greater significance. And for a driver like Tsunoda, still trying to establish himself, that scrutiny is magnified. With the next race just around the corner, the spotlight on Tsunoda will only intensify. He'll need to regroup quickly, put this weekend behind him, and deliver a composed, mistake-free performance. The margin for error is slim, and the competition for a permanent seat in Formula One is fierce. His ability to learn from this setback and bounce back could very well determine whether he remains a part of Red Bull's long-term plans. So, what's your take on the incident? Was it simply an unfortunate racing moment, or does it reflect deeper issues with Tsunoda's readiness for the top team? Do you believe he still has time to prove himself and lock down his future in Formula One? Or could this early crash have lasting consequences? What did you think of today's qualifying session for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix? Did it go the way you expected, or were you surprised by some of the results? If you haven't seen everything that went down yet, don't worry. Our full summary is already live on the Grand Prix channel. After finishing this video, head over there for a complete breakdown of all the key moments, because this session was packed with action right up to the final seconds. One of the unexpected storylines was the disappointing result for Brazilian driver Gabriel Bordalo, who finished at the very bottom of the timesheet in 20th place. It was a result that caught many fans off guard. But what exactly happened to cause such a setback? Several contributing factors came into play. During Q1, Bordalo encountered a series of issues, starting with an unusual incident. He hit a plastic bag on one of his flying laps. The bag got stuck to the car, and only after returning to the pits was it removed by his team. That affected the aerodynamics and handling, costing him precious time and stability on the track. In addition to that, Bordalo had requested a front-wing adjustment between his flying laps because he wasn't feeling entirely confident with the car's balance. However, the team decided not to make the change. This meant that he went out for his final push lap with a setup that he already felt was off, further limiting his ability to compete at his best. Moreover, there was a significant equipment gap between Bordalo and his teammate Nico Hülkenberg. While Hülkenberg received a new aerodynamic kit specifically adapted for the challenging layout of the Jeddah Street circuit, Bordalo had to settle for the older spec configuration already available. That alone placed him at a disadvantage even before qualifying began. On his final attempt, the Brazilian tried to capitalize on a slipstream from one of the Red Bull cars to gain extra speed on the long straight. Unfortunately, that advantage came at a cost. He closed in on turn 1 at a much higher speed than usual and, as a result, misjudged his braking point. He lost control, spun the car, and wasted what was effectively his only real chance to set a competitive lap with fresh tires. After the session, Bordalo gave a very candid assessment of what went wrong. He admitted that the tow from the Red Bull disrupted his usual braking reference for turn 1, and once he missed that critical point, the lap was effectively over. He described the session overall as poor, emphasizing that his only real opportunity was that last push lap, and the error left him with nowhere to go. Despite the tough result, there's still hope for Sunday's race. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is known for being highly unpredictable, often featuring multiple incidents, safety cars, and dramatic shifts in strategy. Bordalo may be starting from the back, but smart decisions on pit stops and a bit of luck could still help him climb the order and walk away with a respectable finish. So what are your expectations for Gabriel Bordalo heading into Sunday's race? Do you think he'll be able to bounce back and deliver a strong performance despite the difficult start to his weekend? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned for all the post-race analysis right here at Grand Prix. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix has just wrapped up with Oscar Piastri taking a dramatic victory, while Max Verstappen, who started from pole position, dropped to second place following a 5-second penalty handed to him on the very first lap. If you want a full recap of everything that went down on track, don't forget to check out our detailed race summary now available on the Grand Prix channel. You'll find the full breakdown and plenty of room to share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's dive deeper into the incident that changed the course of the race, Verstappen's penalty. The decision by the race stewards stemmed from a lap 1 battle between Verstappen and Piastri. The two were side by side when Verstappen ran wide off track, but rejoined ahead of the McLaren driver without giving the position back, a move that immediately raised eyebrows. Was the penalty justified? That's the question that has split fans and experts. According to the stewards, Verstappen gained a lasting advantage by leaving the track and failing to return the position, which under the current FIA rules warrants a time penalty. But others argue it was a first-lap racing incident and perhaps too harsh a call for such early chaos. What do you think? Was the penalty fair, or did race control get it wrong? After the race, Verstappen made it clear he was not happy with how things unfolded. In his post-race interview, the Dutchman chose not to address the incident or the penalty at all. Instead, he simply thanked the fans and walked away, cutting the interview short in front of the live broadcast audience. His frustration was also evident in the pre-podium cool-down room, where he kept a visibly tense demeanor, clearly displeased with how the race ended for him. And he had good reason to be upset. The 5-second penalty didn't just hand the win to Piastri, it potentially cost Verstappen the lead in the Drivers' Championship. With this result, he drops to 3rd place in the standings, a significant setback for a driver who has dominated the sport in recent seasons. While Red Bull hasn't officially protested the decision, internal tension is clearly brewing. Verstappen's camp, including his manager and inner circle, have reportedly voiced their dissatisfaction behind the scenes. It's another chapter in what's becoming a season full of unpredictability, rule interpretations, and fierce rivalries at the front of the grid. As for Piastri, his win in Jeddah marks a defining moment in his career, proving that he can go wheel-to-wheel with the best and come out on top, especially under pressure and in controversial circumstances. The McLaren driver maintained a clean and consistent pace throughout the race, capitalizing on the penalty and managing the gap expertly to secure his first victory of the season. This result also adds new fuel to the championship battle, with 3 drivers now closely packed at the top of the standings. The margins are tight, and every mistake or decision from the stewards can change everything. So what's your take on all this? Do you think Verstappen's frustration is justified? Was the penalty too severe, or did the FIA simply enforce the rules as written? And what does this mean for the rest of the season? Can Verstappen bounce back, or is this the beginning of a power shift in Formula One? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned for all the follow-ups, reactions, and analysis right here at Grand Prix.